and remind you what's at stake as we come into this November election. Let me just remind you where we were 4 years ago right now. It was called Billy Bush Weekend. Anyone remember that?
Yep.
The race was over. Donald Trump will be off the ticket. And every Republican establishment member ran away from Donald Trump and they said he can't win. And then remember what he did? He went out and he crushed Crooked H during that debate. And he said, hey, if I'm going down fighting. I'm going to leave it all on the floor. And what he did over the course of what was then the last 3 weeks of the 2016 campaign was he outworked his opponent doing 3, 4, and 5 stops a day, while Crooked Hillary did exactly what Sleepy Joe was doing, which is hide in her basement. I mean, maybe she was above ground, but it was the same basic principle, which was, let's not go out and campaign, let's hide everywhere, and Donald Trump is going to lose. And what happened? 10,704 votes in Michigan, Donald Trump won by. He won Wisconsin by about 22,000 votes because Americans love first a fighter and be a worker. And that's what Donald Trump is. See, he didn't get into this because he wanted to get rich or famous. He was already rich and famous. He didn't get into this because he thought, look, when I'm done, I'll go make some speeches and have a great life and be a swamp creature like Barack Obama. See, he decided to do this because he looked in the mirror and said, if not me, who? And if not now, when?
Right.
And it's now time for you to make that same observation.
I'm sure.
Because with 3.5 weeks left to go in this election, almost just 3 on Tuesday, if you wake up on the day after the election and Donald Trump isn't successful, you have to ask yourself, did you do every single thing possible to help Donald Trump be successful? And I know many of you worked hard in 2016.
What did he say? I'm not playing with you patriots no more. Get your asses out.
Look, Joe Biden from his basement raised $450 million in September. That's $15 million a day for a candidate who can't answer a simple question of does he support packing the courts or not. That's $15 million a day for a candidate who said he survived the coronavirus pandemic by having a black woman stock shelves in his house. Think about that. He didn't say that 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 50 years ago when he came in to the U.S. Senate. He said it this week. What do you think the media's response would have been if Donald Trump said, I survived coronavirus pandemic because a nice black lady stocked my shelves? He'd be a racist, a xenophobic, hater of women, all those things, but the media didn't even cover Joe Biden. Because the media is, by and large, the Democrats' greatest super PAC.
Yep.
Right? We've seen that. Look, anybody watch the debate last week with the president? Anybody see that? Look, it was 2-on-1. It was Chris Wallace and Joe Biden against Donald Trump, and I felt bad because it was still an unfair fight. Donald Trump still kicked their ass.
Woo!
You know, I talked to the president a lot, and I called him on Saturday, right after he had been diagnosed with the coronavirus. It was over at Walter Reed. And I said, hey, sir, how you feeling? By the way, it's like pretty amazing for a guy like that. I called the White House, they put me right through. It's faster than they get the cable company on the phone. I called the White House, I got a cable problem. They said, we'll be with you in 9 hours. I said, my internet's not working. They said, 6 weeks, we'll send somebody out. I called the White House, is the president available right away, sir? That's pretty freaking cool, right? But, you know, I called over and I talked to the president on Saturday and I said, hey, sir, how you feeling? And this was about a day after he'd been in the hospital. He'd been in there in the hospital for about 24 hours at that point. And he said, you know, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to fight. And I said, sir, you've been fighting for us as a country for 6 years. Since you came down that escalator and even before that. I'm going to ask you for a favor, sir. And I don't ask for a lot of favors. I said, sir, would you let me talk to the Trump train? Would you let me ask them to fight for you and stand in the breach? And he said, you bet. So, this president needs our help.
Happy birthday, Doreen. Happy birthday.
He needs our help because we know how tough he is, but he can't do it alone. You know, we have fought this Russian hoax narrative that we now know Crooked Hillary started. We know that. We know Comey, Clapper, and Brennan should all be in jail. We know the lovers, Strong and Page, those two should be in jail too, maybe separate cells, I'm not sure. Maybe together, okay? But what we know is they use their badges and their guns to go after us, and they try to have a coup against this president, to take a duly elected person and have
coup
him
d'etat.
thrown out of office. And there's been no accountability, and it bothers me. Because, you know, you guys may remember I had to sit there in front of Congress and testify. Like 6 times I had to do that, which was just, you know, complete ridiculousness. And these guys, these geniuses I call them, right? They started asking me questions. I said, Congressman, aren't you the guy who said if we put 20 people on Guam, it's gonna flip over?
Hey, Detox, write me an email. redpillrage@protonmail.com.
I said, I don't know what the hell that means. Is that good or bad? I don't know. Are you the bad man, or something handsome man? And Congress went crazy, right? Because these guys are just so dishonest that they're not used to someone fighting back. But we all got to fight in our own way. And so
that's right.
Ask you to stand up and fight because maybe some of you in this room will be perfectly fine, but we have an obligation, and more than an obligation, we have a duty. See, I believe that our parents and our grandparents left this country to us better than they inherited from their families.
That's right.
We have that same obligation to give that to our children, and hopefully some of us our grandchildren, because they can't fight for themselves right now.
Nope.
Just think about what's at stake. We're the greatest country in the history of the planet.
Yeah.
We've got the most powerful military ever assembled. And this president has said something so simple. It's called America First. Why should we ever apologize for being the greatest country? Remember, Barack Obama and Joe Biden, they went around and they did the apology tour. Oh, sorry for being a great country. Right? So what the hell are you talking about? And now what do we see? It's okay to kneel for the flag. I don't recognize my country. Where I come from, we support the men and women who serve on the thin blue line. We stand for the flag and the So my message to you today is just very simple, and I'll take some questions. Whatever you think you've done in 2016 and 2020 so far, it's not enough. It hasn't matched what the president has done for us. Whatever you think you've been able to do and your family has sacrificed, think of what the first family has been through.
That's right.
Think of the slings and arrows they have taken. Think of the financial burden that they have received because people have attacked them for their political beliefs. And I'll tell you what, after I finished testifying in front of Congress, I told the story many times, I sat there in front of Jerry Nadler for like 7 hours, right?
Ew.
And the guy lied about everything. Him and President Swalwell, you remember all these geniuses, right? And while I was testifying, I had my cell phone down between my legs. I testified, and the phone just kept ringing off the hook, and ringing. And so I finally took a break, and I looked down, and it was Donald J. Trump calling. And I finally, after finished testifying, I called him back, and I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Corey, I wanted to talk on the microphone. You should have let me speak to the committee." But I did say to him, and this is the truth, you know, I had just been through this gauntlet of these lunatics in Congress. And I said, "You know, sir, I'm emotionally exhausted, I'm physically spent, financially beat down from this. I'm just tired." And he said, "Hey, Lewandowski, what are you gonna stand in the corner like a little baby and suck your thumb?"
Woo! That's President Trump.
He said, "Get out there, Lewandowski, you better keep fighting." So look, we all fight our own way. And you know, my way sometimes is on TV for this president. Sometimes my way is coming here and asking you to do a little bit more. And sometimes my way is actually getting into a fist fight like I've done outside the Oval Office.
Yeah!
So,
real man.
That's who I am. And so look, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And with that, I'd love to take a couple of questions and I'll give you honest answers to that's all I know. Yes, ma'am, right over here.
Hello, Mr. Lewandowski. Thank you so much for being here. I love your energy, and I think you fit right in with our president, so thank you for that. My question is one of censorship right now in America. So I feel like I was just deleted off Facebook. I asked this question yesterday to a panel of social media experts, but they weren't able to answer it. I was just deleted off Facebook for being an outspoken, rallying, conservative Christian in Southern California. And they deleted me without warning, without repercussions. I wasn't allowed to dispute it, and there was no reason why And it seems like right now in America, Facebook and Twitter are making it their mission to completely silence the conservative voices and the conservative message. And it's interesting that it's happening right before an election. Is this not some sort of egregious, treasonous, or tyrannical thing that's happening across these social media giants? And why aren't we doing anything about it? Why do we keep having these dog and pony shows in Congress where Mark Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey are allowed to sit there and tell America and lie to everybody's face and say that they're not censoring conservatives and that there's tons of competition out there? But we know that Facebook has a complete monopoly. There's no other platform like Facebook that does what they do, especially with 2.7 billion users. So what can we do about this atrocity against our first amendment?
It's a great question. Let me just start by saying, if Congress was half as tough as Donald Trump, we'd be in a hell of a lot better shape than we are today. These guys are so weak, right? Don't forget, these guys are all politicians. What do they care about? Their re-election. There's a handful of fighters in Congress, right? The guys, the Jimmy Jordans of the world, the Matt Gates of the world, the guys who go on TV and fight every day. But for the most part, they're weak, and so they give these tech companies a pass because you know what they want? They want contributions, they want support, they want money, and they want to pretend that they're unbiased. Oh, I didn't realize you were only censoring conservatives. Well, we don't do that. Okay, thank you, Mr. Dorsey. No reason for you to come in anymore. Have a good time, okay? We're too nice is the problem. We're too nice, and we need to do something about it. What we have to make sure we're doing is spending our money and resources in places that support our candidates and our president. And look, I know how big Facebook is, but I'll tell you what, I don't go on Facebook. You guys can do what you want to do. My personal decision is not to do that because I just don't like the way that they run their business. And I know that's not an easy thing to do, but I think the only way we fight back and what we've learned from this BLM movement, okay, is when we stop watching professional sports, and believe me, I love sports because I think they're the greatest equalizer. When you stop watching them and their revenues fall through the floor, you know what they said? We're no longer going to have Black Lives Matter on the courts anymore for basketball games next year because, by the way, nobody's watching us anymore. So, but my only advice is, and I'm not in Congress, thank Jesus, that we have to stop using social media platforms that are directly attacking conservatives. I know it's not easy, we're going to get through this election, but this is where the free market system has to work. We're going to go to places like Parliament.
There is no other place. Literally, Facebook.
Hey, there was no place before Facebook started.
That's right. That's right.
So was General Electric 100 years ago and somebody else came in. So was AT&T 100 years ago and somebody else came in. So let's find some competition.
Are you in favor of dismantling them like AT&T?
Look, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying let's go find a way to compete with them. It's not easy.
Yep.
But why do we want to become a victim? I'm not a victim to anybody. Okay?
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a question over here.
Go ahead.
Hi, there's one promise that President Trump hadn't delivered on, and that was that he was going to take resumes from people like these in this room and put them within his government. And it's really been a shame because they really need like lower and middle level managers who are doing so many destructive things in the bureaucracy to him that he doesn't understand, or it's such a lower level, but that's what's going on right now.
Look, you're right. Let me tell you something. I'll be very candid with you because that's who I am. When we started this government 4 years ago, we made a whole bunch of mistakes. We let holdovers from the Obama administration stay in positions. We didn't take people who were loyal to the president and put them into the government. We had the wrong people making decisions for presidential personnel's office. And now we've got a guy at the presidential personnel office. His name is Johnny Maga. If you ever see Johnny Maga, he's the old body guy. And he's been with us since Christ was on the cross, which I appreciate. So Johnny's been there from the very beginning. And now, as we're trying to fill jobs, I'll give you an example. The Department of Homeland Security that had about 400 vacancies that were all Schedule C appointments by the president, they all sat empty for 3 years until Johnny walked into the PPO office and now staffing them with the right people. We are long overdue on that, and we need to do a better job on that, particularly going into the second term. Once we win, I can promise you, the system is finally in place, and I'm sorry it hasn't been in place before, but we missed opportunity after opportunity, and we saw those people who were holdovers in the government that hated this president, that tried to destroy him from the inside, and believe me, the professional bureaucracy is very, very real. These guys are unelected bureaucrats who sit there and transition between one administration to the other. and decide that they don't want to do something, there's no accountability. So we have to fix that. I have time for one last question before they throw me off the stage.
Hi, I'm Jenny with Radical Rage. I've been traveling the country with Walkaway, with Proud Boys, with other conservative organizations, and everything that Corey is saying is true. Y'all are too nice. You're not stepping up to the plate. This is not a question, sir, but I need a job. And I love our president. I love our country. Will you take my card?
Look, I'll be happy to take it. I'm happy to do that. I don't work for the government, thank God. I think there's a lot of problems with that. But that being said, I'm happy to do that. And look, I really mean this, guys. We're conservatives, and we're Christians, and we're nice people, right? But you better be happy. You gotta be happy warriors. Look, I wake up every day loving my opportunity to go fight for this president. I'm gonna do Fox from here today at noon. We're gonna do the great Judge Janine tonight. But it's about going out and swinging for the president. And if you're not gonna do it now, don't come back and say, hey, you know what, wasn't my fault, because it will be your fault. Because this election, just in my home state of New Hampshire, the president lost that state by 2,735 votes. If you don't think it makes a difference by knocking on doors and calling people, then we've got a real difference of opinion on that. So I want to thank you so much for being here. It's really my honor, and I look forward to talking to you in the future. Thanks, guys.
Did you hear what he said? If not now, when? If not me, who? You see how empty this room is? I'm not playing with you anymore. We're not playing. Get your asses out.
And he is the host of the